Of the dozen or so traditional instruments, there are 4 in common use in popular music: the washint, the kabero, the krar, and the masinko. Another influence of the past is that today's popular music often works within the parameters of the 4 traditional modes or scales. The first of these is the anchihoye.
Unlike the other 3, Anchihoye is only used to express melancholic kind of mood. While the others are used to express both gair and melancholic. For example, like the bati. As you can hear, bati is being played now in a much more livelier mood. This is because we are using the chikchika beat. The chikchika beat is unique to Ethiopia, as reggae was once to Jamaica. This is the 3rd scale. It's called the ambasel. But now it's being played in a much more syncopated, inventive, and transformed version. The last scale or mode used in Ethiopian music is tzita. Now, if there is really something which describes our country's soul, it's this. What we're hearing is a slightly pacey version of tzita. Now, tzita has been played by a lot of Ethiopian famous singers, and it has got a lot of different versions. But if you want to hear a deeply melancholic version of the zither, listen to the sounds.
Tzita is a recollection of the past. It is nostalgia of the past. It is nostalgia of the experiences of the past. You see the past as part of an inspiration for the future. It is a love song. that a person, a man and a woman falls in love, they sing Tizita. Or a person, for example, myself, I sing Tizita sometimes when I'm very happy and sometimes when I'm sad. It is one of those songs that I sing at heart.
It does for me express the real musical soul of the Ethiopians. In fact, I have dedicated a painting to this song. It is symbolic, it is allegorical, as the song itself is. Now, the girl is a very beautiful one, and in the typical classical style, she is looking very sad, very disdainful, because if a girl was smiling and laughing all the time, she was not really considered completely beautiful. In order to have the acceptance as a most beautiful woman, she had to have a tinge of sadness as well.
If the Tizita is the soul song of Highland Ethiopia, then the Eskista is their special dance. Ethiopians say that it is only in the countryside, at traditional weddings for instance, that you see the real Eskista.
The movements are more created above the waist, unlike most African dances. But it is again like the song, like the music, very sophisticated, underplayed, even if it looks as if very provocative and very sexy. It is subdued and very refined in its approach.
Certainly most visitors, when first introduced to the Eskista, do see it as an extremely sexy and provocative dance.
What was it that your Shakespeare said? Only thinking makes it so. You can feel sexy, you can feel any other feelings you like, but nevertheless, this has come from this zar, the full letting yourself go. It's a bit of a pagan expression.
Desta Gebre has long been recognized as one of its greatest exponents.
For me, she was the most outstanding Eskista dancer because she does it from the heart, from deep down with a tremendous amount of feeling. So it's when she dances it, sometimes you are confused between the fetish, the religious, and the sensuous.
In the past, performers had little status in Ethiopia. Well-to-do families would feel ashamed if one of them became an entertainer. Today that's changed. Through government sponsorship, there are now roving cultural troupes in nearly every province of the country and 4 state-subsidized theaters in Addis Ababa alone. At the City Hall Theatre, Abata Mercuria directs his own musical about the streetwise people of the city.
My characters frequent the streets, the town dwellers, which we call the Arada people. And the Arada, this is the center of the town where everything really happens. And the characters dwelling in this particular area are exposed to foreign contacts. If a new number is created in music, they immediately take it and assimilate it to themselves. They recreate it and sang it out like shimbradabe, shimbradabe, aikanyambadube. You see? So like the shoeshine thing. So in time it becomes folklore, contemporary folklore.
Mahmoud Ahmed is one of the few singers in Ethiopia to have achieved international recognition. He started his working life as a shoeshine boy.
Ya salami lalo ya ho wey lalo ya salami lalo ya ho wey lalo ya yeshrubi kanje ya ho wey lalo ya titishi no sera ya ho wey lalo ya adichal gafarku.
Here with the Roha band, he sings a Gurage song. The Gurage people of Ethiopia are famous for their entrepreneurial skills, whether it's hustling a living as shoeshine boys or running highly successful businesses. Here, where Marxist-Leninism and private enterprise pursue a somewhat watchful coexistence, Mahmoud Ahmed runs his own thriving music shop.
سلم هيو سلم
Today, the Gurages dominate the Mercato, one of the largest markets in Africa. There's a part of Addis where every other doorway opens onto a music shop. It's known as Cassette Alley. The commercial side of music making in Ethiopia is based exclusively on cassettes. There are no records, certainly no digital recordings. Cassettes are not cheap. They retail at 13 birr each, the equivalent at the official rate of about £4. A lot of money for the average Ethiopian. Yet sales have mushroomed in the past 15 years, both in spite of their cost and their quality. Cassette producer Ali Kaifa is recording with Tigrinya singer Sofia Asbeha. The band work without sound separation in one room, Sofia in a converted kitchen next door. Ali Kaifa has no illusions about these recordings.
We don't have professional or semi-professional studios to record, and we don't have also enough equipment for recording. This is why the quality of the recording is poor.
The cassette producers say this is because the government won't grant them licenses to import better equipment. The government reply they have more important priorities when allocating scarce foreign exchange. Equally worrying to Ali Kaifa is the problem of piracy.
The other shops, of the music shops, when I release a new cassette of any singer, they copy it. There is no copyright here,
To deal with problems like this, the government has set up the Ethiopian Music Association. Its job is to control all professional music making. It means that singers, if they want to make a cassette, have to submit both lyrics and score to the association's quality control panel. This, they explain, ensures standards are maintained and there is no plagiarism.
እና በዚህ መሰረት አብዛኛው የሚቀርቡት የነበሩ ሙዚቃዎች ትንሽ ድምጻቸው በርከት ያለ ጠንከር ያለ ነው። ይሄ ግን በጣም ለስለስ ብሎ የቀረበ ነው እና በኔ በኩል ልጅቷ አቀራረቧ የሻሻለች መጣለች ነው። በቂ ነው።
The association has little liking for the private cassette producers. They describe them pejoratively as business musicians. They say they often cheat the recording artists. The musicians are, in fact, reasonably happy with the cassette producers. They wonder why the association itself doesn't lead the way with its own state-financed recording facility. instead of just criticizing the private sector.
Before you replace something, you must prepare the ground with what you are going to replace it. The Ethiopian musician unquestionably needs a patron. He has got to be patronized. He has got to make his living. He has to have something in order to go on in life.
Getachew Kassa sings with the Ethio Star Band at the Gion Hotel. Most singers and bands are contracted, if not to a hotel, then to a theatre company, a cultural troupe, or the armed forces. Whichever way, they're state employees. The pay's not bad, relatively speaking. After tax, about £200 a month, the same as a senior civil servant. But a recording artist can earn £15,000 sterling for a cassette. It means the private cassette producer is able to lift that singer into a different financial league altogether. As in other parts of Africa, club and hotel bands in Ethiopia grew out of the military bands. The first of these was formed in the 1920s, when Emperor Haile Selassie, then still regent, discovered in Jerusalem some Armenian orphans, survivors of the Turkish Holocaust. He brought them to Ethiopia and established what he called the Bodyguard Band. Avedes Terzian, senior spokesman for Ethiopia's influential Armenian community, remembers the first time these bandsmen played in public. It was at the emperor's coronation in 1931, a debut that very nearly didn't happen. In rehearsals, they had to prepare the various national anthems of the invited foreign dignitaries.
When it came to the Turkish anthem, they refused to play. They argued, they said, we cannot play the music, the anthem of a country that has killed our parents. The emperor got angry. He ordered them to continue playing. He said, their personal feelings should not interfere. This was a diplomatic show and so on. Well, they were adamant. They refused. So a big state council was invited, including the greatest chiefs of the empire. And they said, this is a problem. These boys will not play the anthem of one of our guests. They listened. Despite the emperor's insistence, the whole group unanimously decided that they could not be expected to play the music of a country that had killed their fathers.
A few years later, in 1935, Italy invaded Ethiopia. The ill-equipped Ethiopians were no match for a modern army. Within weeks, the invaders made their triumphal entry into the ruined capital. If this dream of empire was short-lived, Italy's cultural influence was to long survive its eventual military defeat. Italian dance bands became a regular feature of life in cities like Addis and Asmara. What's more, many Italians had grown to love the country. When offered repatriation to Italy at the end of the war, they chose to stay.
Poi chi c'era ancora? Sono morti tutti.
Più della metà.
Amongst them Giulio Tartaglia and Lucenti Vincenzo.
Lombardi è morto.
Morto adesso.
Lombardi
c'era lui.
Reale, uno messo alla commisteria.
Ma c'era un gruppo, c'era Lombardi, c'era Teghini.
Lombardi, Teghini, Reale.
Reale è venuto dopo. C'era anche lui, poi c'erano i due fratelli d'Albandiano.
Lui si era innamorato di una ragazza Angelina.
Quella Angelina.
Dicevano,
quella di Lombardi.
Angelina che se n'era andata con un altro armeno. E lui gli diceva Angelina, tu sarai la mia rovina.
Ma
per
è
la
quella
tua
poi
aria,
di Lombardi.
Gaia, ti ho comprato la maccaia.
Ho capito, ma è
se
quella.
ritorni a me sarò contento, ti regalerò la 1100.
Te lo ricordi ancora?
Sì.
Then in the late 50s, there came a revolution. It's Sunday night at the Buffet de la Gare.
Like crazy music, you don't like rock and band. You just wanna go to the movie show, see better hold hands. You were so square, baby I don't care.
It's a sort of small international cafe with all the trimmings that you find in such similar places, be it in Hong Kong, Paris, or New York. You meet all kinds of people from all spectrums of life, and I think it's a kind of melting pot. I think it is good that such a place does exist in Addis, and I think to whoever goes there will get a glimpse also of what another side of Ethiopia.